You, many of you, are a bunch of suckers. How dare you say that? My response? I just said it, and I mean it. How many of you out there are so weak that you have to draw your strength and self-worth, although it's fake, based on your favorite politician, actor, athlete, or yes, self-help guru? There are people who worship these individuals. But the problem is, you don't know who they really are. You know their persona when they're on stage, so to speak. But you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And if you did, you might be very, very disappointed. It's sad that people can be so influenced by charlatans. People are very, very weak. They look for someone else to solve their problems. They look for someone else to give them solace. They look for someone else to give them comfort and reassurance, when all that resides within them. You cannot get it from the outside. You out there have placed your trust in people about whom you know very little. Because they say the right thing, they have the gift of gab, they are very entertaining, and so you believe with blind allegiance that what they say is really coming from their heart. You believe that they're telling you exactly what they really feel and that they have your interest as number one in their mind. I say, bull! I've had people that I thought were friends, and that's a whole other category. People who you think are their friends, or your friends rather, may not turn out to be exactly what you thought. Now, in terms of people who are well known, as I said before, it could be also people of religion, actors, athletes, self-help gurus, can give you what appears to be solace, can give you, quote, the answers, often at a high price. But then what do when you get home? How does this help you in your everyday life? How does this make you a better person? How does this make you better able to cope with the problems of life? And the answer is oftentimes it does not. The only thing it does is enrich the coffers of those who are espousing wisdom to you. I've watched many a video of self-help gurus, and you can see the people in the audience looking up like they're in the presence of God Almighty. I have news for you. These people defecate and urinate just like you do. They put on one pant leg at a time, just like you do. They shave in the morning, just like you do. They eat, and maybe they even belch, just like you do. So what's the takeaway here? What's the bottom line here? The bottom line is simply this. Do not put stock in all of these so-called beautiful people It comes down, listen, now wait a minute. You can pick up certain things here and there, but to have blind allegiance and to say, oh, I watch him all the time because he really speaks to me. I listen to him on the podcast. I watch I look what he writes, and I take up his books, and I look at him like he's God Almighty on this earth, and I'm saying, you're a fool. You're a fool, and you're pathetic. The answer lies within you. Always has and always will be. That person may give you a lift for the day. It's like an adrenaline shot. I told you I once heard, after attending years ago, a fairly famous motivational speaker. And I was in the restroom, and I heard one of the participants, one of the higher up speakers, talk about basically how they completely fooled the audience and how little respect they had for the audience. Because they know the game and they know basically it's entertainment. I say to you, if you want to proceed on this fruitless journey of wasting your time on this crap, go right ahead. Oh, by the way, at cost to you financially and also wasting your most valuable commodity, which is time. Go ahead and do it. I can't stop you. I wouldn't even try to stop you. But what I'm saying is the answer is within you. If you're a person of religion, it might be within your religious beliefs. If you're more of a agnostic, or you're not sure, or an atheist, then you have other means out there. You might want to read some of the books of old-time philosophers and so forth. But here's the problem. It's one thing to go to a seminar, a conference, a video, a book. But the problem is there's a huge gap between listening to what these people say to you and actually putting it into practice. It's that empty feeling when you get home. Now what do I do? If that person who he didn't force you, but took $200 for that seminar is off somewhere living the high life while you're coming at home, sitting down, you're still a little bit on a high and you're scratching your head and say, okay, well, what do I do now? You don't come to the realization. You won't admit that you've been taken. When are you going to start to rely on yourself? And by the way, I'm going to throw in another person or another group of people into the hopper here. And that is therapists. Many psychotherapists are there as a business. And it is a business. Never forget that. And they will keep you on as long as they can. There are some ethical ones who are out there, and that's one of the reasons that I always support behavior therapy, because that is usually time limited. It's not, well, how are we doing this week? And here's a cup of coffee, and you must be angry, and over that, and then the time is up. Please have your check, and then do the same thing next week, and the next week, and the next week, only fostering dependence. There's a lot of people out there who are disingenuous and phony, and you've got to be able to realize who they are. And if you get taken by them, you have no one to blame but the person in the mirror. So this is my stern warning to you and advice if you want to take it. Be very careful about tying up your emotions in one or more people or companies or groups that promise you the answer. They won't come out and say that, but implicit in their advertisement is, if you only listen to me, if you do as I say, if you go along with the program, then you too will achieve bliss on this earth. I find this whole thing pathetic, and they are looking for suckers. As P.T. Barnum said, there's a sucker born every minute. And if that's what you want to be, go ahead and do it. But I've given you a stern warning about getting into that situation. I ask you to subscribe, to comment, to like, and to share this video with people that you think will benefit from this. What I have said today is not very popular, but I don't give a damn. I remind you that I also have other videos such as Mr. Important and Hero Worship that discuss some of the issues that I brought up today. See you next time!